Mermaids, half-woman and half-fish creatures, have captured the imaginations of people for centuries. Many are first introduced to these mythical beings through popular culture, such as the famous Disney film, The Little Mermaid. Mermaids have been a part of folklore and legends in numerous cultures worldwide, including Asia, Africa, and Europe. But where did the concept of mermaids originate? Surprisingly, the first account of these creatures dates back as far as 1000 before centuries in Assyria. In this myth, the goddess of fertility, Atargatis, transforms herself into a mermaid after casting herself into a lake. She is goddess of the moon, feminine powers and water. She was worshipped 4,000 to 3,000 years ago in ancient Assyria and later on all over the Mediterranean. Atargatis fell in love with a mortal shepherd called Hadad, and they had a daughter called Semiramis. Semiramis, later on, became queen of Assyria. She was most well known for creating the famous Hanging Gardens of Babylonia. Atargatis accidentally caused the death of Hadad. She could not live with her guilt and drowned herself into a lake near Ascalon. Waters, however, could not hide her beauty, and she was transformed into a mermaid, a woman with a tail of a fish. The story of Atargatis is one of the first mermaid stories ever told. In Japanese folklore, there is a human fish creature with the mouth of a monkey that lives in the sea called a ninjio. The word in Japanese is composed of the characters for person and fish. An old Japanese belief was that eating the flesh of a ninjio could grant immortality. The creature was once a fisherman who had trespassed to fish in protected waters. As punishment, he had been transformed into a ninjio and with his dying breaths called upon the prince to absolve him of his crimes. In some places, locals still believe that ninjio neither tends human body nor a ape's body too. However, they say that ninjio tends to have a human-ape reptilian head attached to the body of the fish. Even times come when these heads are also shown in such a way that is also out of ordinary. African culture has portrayed the idea of the mermaid in many ways across the continent. It has also been observed that certain features are similar across these variations. She has the same purpose: to seduce, beguile, and intrigue mankind. She shrouds herself in her mysticism, attractiveness, and, above all, her vengeance. In African mythology, mermaids describes as a beautiful woman with flowing black hair and an angelic gaze used to entrap or bewilder her spectator, not forgetting fin-like tail with a torso and head of a human. She goes by many names such as Mami Wata, translated to Mother Water. These spirits are often referred to as minions or soldiers, often males, for the higher deities, such as Mami Wata or Mamba Muntu, where they would kidnap, trick or deceive fishermen and seafarers to sacrifice or tithe to them. In Greek mythology, mermaids were often referred to as sirens. The beautiful creatures were sometimes depicted as being half-bird also, but the ones that are most popular in myths were beautiful women with fish tails. As beautiful as these sirens were, they were not always the nicest creatures. Sirens is a dangerous creatures. The fearsome figures, which were described and depicted as half-woman and half-bird, sat perched on rocky crags along the sea, singing beautiful, seductive songs. They hoped to ensnare nearby sailors, luring them onto the dangerous rocks with their songs, causing shipwrecks. The most famous mention of a siren in ancient Greek literature is the scene from Homer's epic poem The Odyssey, in which Odysseus is warned by the sorceress Circe of the irresistible song of the sirens. Curious as to what he would hear, Odysseus ordered his crew to tie him to the mast of the ship, to not untie him until they passed the creatures, and to plug their own ears with beeswax. Upon hearing their beautiful song, Odysseus begged his crew to release him, but they obediently sailed onward. Many ancient Greek myths equate sirens with mermaids. However, while they share many characteristics, they are now seen as two different entities.